want to welcome you back, and I want to thank you for sharing these testimonies with your friends and your family. Somebody always needs to hear a good word that God has done in their life and the good works that He's done. Um, I want to say that I do this for the glory of God. I am a very private person and very reserved. So when I get on the internet to do something like this has to be a God thing because I just don't share my life like this. So I just want to let you know that God has put this in my heart and to share with the world and to share His goodness with the world because He is an awesome God. Um, so again, I want to thank you for sharing this. Um, I want to say that this testimony is a testimony in my life that is at this time in my life was very devastating time with this testimony. And like King David, he had a lot of devastating time in his life, and uh, he always called on God. I mean, King David was one that he was always after God's heart, and when he was in distress a lot, he always went to God and got on his knees. Um, I've been like that in my life sometimes too, that when I can't go no more, I just love on God and just like King David did, just get on my knees and call on Him. Um, so, like I said, this testimony was a very devastating time in my life and in my husband's life, Joe's life. Um, with that said, I'm going to start this testimony, and this testimony starts back home in Chicago when we were a one-car family. Um, because we were a one-car family, when I needed to use the car, I would always take Joe to work and pick him up. And on this day, I needed to use the car. So I told Joe, I'm going to take you to work and then I'll pick you up. And sure enough, that's what I did. I took him to work, and about 11 o'clock at night is when his shift was finished. So I got Joey up, and Joey was about 4 years old around this time. And I put him in the car. It was about 11 o'clock, and I put him in the car, and I put him in the back seat of the car. So I took off, and I went to pick up Joe. And on our way back home, I told Joe that we needed to get some milk. I had forgot to pick that up that day. So we needed to go get some milk, and so we stopped at a gas station. For those that are from Chicago, we stopped on Division in Pulaski. And we stopped at the gas station, and Joe got out of the car, and he went for the milk. I stayed in the car waiting for Joe, and a few minutes passed by, and this African American guy got in the car on Joe's side, and he tells me to be quiet and shut up. And at that time, I'm, you know, in a state of mind like, oh, what's going on here, and in shock and scared. And so as he starts taking off, I open the car and I throw myself out of the car. And I rolled up myself out, and I picked myself up, and I go to the gas station, and I tried to get in through one of the doors, but the door was locked, so I had to go around. I am losing my mind at that time because my son Joey is in the back of the car. So I run into the gas station screaming and telling Joel, "This guy took the car, this guy took the car." And he's, "What are you talking about?" I said, "This guy got inside the car and he took the car. I threw myself out and Joey's in the back seat and he's sleeping." And so Joe is like, I mean, he lost it. And he tried to go out the door that I tried to come in, but it was locked. So he went down through the other side of the door. And he is running and trying to run after the car. And I'm right behind him. But before that happened, the guy from the gas station, I told him, call the policeman. So we're running, and Joel's ahead of me, and he's running after the car, but the car got away. It was going fast. It got away from him. And at that time, I can see Joe getting on his knees, and I go towards him a little bit more, and as we're devastated coming back to the gas station, and we asked the man from the gas station if he called the police, and he said yeah. And we're standing there, and I'm just crying out to God, and God help, please, Lord, help, help. Oh, Lord, please help these policemen that are coming, help find my son, Lord. God, I need you, Lord. Oh God, I was so distressed, and so was Joe. We were very devastated.